Good morning, internets. My name is Katherine. This is Car Stuff with Katherine, and we're about to talk about some car stuff. The car stuff we're talking about today is my 10,000 mile review of this here 2019 Chevy Colorado Z71 off-road. This has been my daily since July, and there's a couple of different things I want to talk about with this vehicle. If you were thinking about getting one, or thinking about getting into that pickup truck life, I would highly suggest you pick up one of these things. Now, I needed this for a specific purpose. Now, no matter how good a car is, it has to fit the lifestyle of the person driving it, or it's no good at all. For example, you could hand me the keys to a brand new fully loaded GT3 RS, and I would gladly take those keys. But as far as that vehicle fitting into my life and my lifestyle, it wouldn't be the right car for me. It doesn't matter that it's a near perfect driving machine, and that Porsche really knows what they're doing. Now, my life has a lot of different vehicular needs in it. I drive a lot. I'm driving obviously right now. I have a lot of meetings that I have to go to, a lot of places that I need to be. I have a lot of duties to fulfill all over town, and I need something comfortable. I was getting in and out of a little hatchback before, a Chevy Volt actually, and I was getting in and out of it multiple times each day. And in that vehicle, it had the bucket seats and it was lower to the ground, and this is not a concern for everybody, but this is a concern for me. I was seated with my ass below my knees in that bucket seat, which means that every time I got out of the car, swing my legs out, my knees are above my ass, and I have to do an awkward angled squat to get in and out of the car, which is not an issue for most people if you have two good working knees. My left knee is basically a suggestion. It's not really there. It just sort of pretends to be there. It's been through a lot. I've blown it up and had surgery, so it was just painful for me to run my errands every day. I knew I needed to get into something taller, for sure. Now, the salesman did try to get me into SUV after SUV after SUV, and I was like, man, it's just ain't me, no matter how nice they are. I do stuff. I used the hatchback feature a lot on the Volt. I was constantly moving cargo in and out, and a lot of the time I was moving things that were dirty. I was moving, car parts for various projects, or whatever the case was. It just, and I'm a pickup truck enthusiast. I mean, I just like them. I have always liked them. I mean, if you look at my videos, the stuff that I tend to get the most excited about is lowriders and pickup trucks. And if somebody ever lowriders a pickup truck, well, then I'm just useless. But I knew I needed something taller. I knew I needed something that could move a lot of things around. And then in addition to that, I have family that lives in the middle of nowhere. I have my dad and brother live in northern Nevada, out a ways, and if there's inclement weather, I want to be able to get to them. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, and the Volt just didn't fit the bill. It'd do highway driving and it would do long road trips despite being an EV because it had the onboard generator, but it didn't make enough power to get me through the snow. It really didn't like big mountain passes, so I knew I needed something that could do all of those things. And I've always wanted an overlander, which is where this one is headed. But at the same time, there's a lot of different pickup trucks out there. I didn't really want a full size because, one, I didn't want to deal with the fuel economy or lack thereof of a full size pickup truck, and I didn't want to deal with the issues that surround getting in and out of parking lots or parking structures or any of the tight spaces that you have to navigate in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is a very wide, very sprawling city, but if you ever end up downtown in Las Vegas conducting business, as I do from time to time, in a full-size pickup truck, which I have done, it is less than fun. It's just no good. So I'm like, all right, it's a mid-size pickup truck, and there's a couple of different options out there. There was a Ford Ranger, there's of course the Toyota Tacoma, and then there was this. And I already speak Chevy. I already am a Chevy enthusiast, which isn't to say there's anything wrong with the other brands. Time for tea. It's just that this is just a little bit more, in my heart. It's I fell in love with my husband in a Chevy pickup truck. I took my driving test in another Chevy pickup truck. I've spent, the vast amount of my driving time has been in Chevy pickup trucks. So I finally wanted one of my own. And found this lovely thing. And, you know, they, of course, had the LTs and the two-wheel drive versions, and I just didn't see the reason in having another two-wheel drive pickup truck, or car for that matter, when I knew that I needed a 4x, and I like to go camping. So, you know, I bought the truck, and then, you know, my first impressions were amazing because it was brand new, and, you know, it had less than 20 miles on it before I had it down a dirt road. Its first 100 miles were pretty much down dirt roads. It handles incredibly well at speed. The 4Auto feature on it is incredible. And it's got a lot of niceties, you know, for getting out into the world. It really does a good job. You know, we've taken it out in the mud. We've taken it out in the snow. I took it to the Grand Canyon. I've taken it on long road trips. I mean, I put a lot of miles on this car in a relatively short period of time. You know, I know a lot of people who don't drive 10,000 miles in a year, and that's what I do in, you know, 6 months or so. So, you know, you get to experience it, and then when the newness of the thing wears off, okay, well, now how does it do in your daily driving? It parks phenomenally well. I've got, you know, a really nice interior here. I've got the hybrid leather seats with the, you know, the leather surround, and then the high density fabric inserts that are just so comfy. And, you know, I like the colors in here. I'm very, very comfortable in this vehicle, but it's still got enough ruggedness, you know. The floors came with these really thick, nice rubber mats with a high lip on them. So, you know, we get in with muddy boots or snowy boots and water all over the place, and it doesn't matter. You just take the mats out, hose them off, and when they're dry, put them back in, and you're good to go. I also needed a comfortable back seat. My grandbaby comes with me all the time, all kinds of places. So I needed a place where, you know, a car seat would fit. And now she has grown out of the car seat and is into the booster seat, but it's a perfectly comfortable place to sit back there. There's plenty of room. The Volt actually had the world's worst back seat. You might as well, I mean, it was fine if you didn't have legs, but if you happen to have legs, it was a terrible place to sit. Batman didn't mind it, but everybody else, you know, it was just a terrible back seat. You know, this is much, much improved. And, you know, as far as, you know, getting in and out of parking spots, not a problem. It's comfortable, no matter what time of year it is. The AC works great, which is important when you live in Las Vegas like I do. But you also need, you know, good heat. And I have heated seats and heated steering wheel. Because our winters do get very cold, which most people don't really expect. But, I mean, it gets damn chilly out here. Having put 10,000 miles on it, it's been, you know, all up and down the state of Nevada. It's been to Utah. It's been to Arizona. It's been through some fairly rugged terrain. Now, we did take it out when we were in Sedona off-roading in January. We did take it out down a specific off-roading trail in an off-roading park. And it got up until the point where vehicles had to begin bouldering. Now, this one is still stock. I still have stock height, stock wheels, stock rubber, because I'm not going to begin modding it until it's paid off. I don't care what anybody says about that. I was in the repo game for a while, and I cannot tell you how many tricked out vehicles we would pick up, where somebody had done, you know, $10,000, $20,000 in modifications to a car that they didn't literally own yet, and then life happened. And then we came and got it, and they did not get the value back on any of that, the modifications that they put on the vehicle. So you won't be seeing my vehicle with any modifications until it's paid off. Excuse me, period. I just don't do it. I don't think it's wise. But the eventual direction for this thing is going to be, this is my platform to build an overlander. Now, if you're not familiar with what overlanding is, it's basically, you know, lightweight bug out vehicles where you can get out into the world, camp very, very comfortably, have all your gear with you. That's my business. That's what I like. That's where I'm comfortable. That's what makes me happy. And I like camping. I've taken this camping with my sister. We're able to get all their gear up, and they do big car camping. I mean, tents all over the place, and chairs and tables and cooler after cooler after cooler, and firewood, and, you know, because she's got the family thing going on, and it didn't have any trouble at all. But more than that, more than just getting to, you know, a commercially accessible campsite, I want to be able to get to campsites other people can't get to, and this allows me the freedom to do that. The direction that it's eventually going to go, once I've got it all overlanded out, I want, you know, lift, wheels, and tires for sure. Getting in and out is going to be a little bit of a hassle with the lift on it, but I need that ground clearance. Because when we got out in Sedona, that's what I was going to say. When we got out in Sedona and we had to stop where vehicles began bouldering, and there were several Jeeps that were able to go right around me and go up the boulders, and I had to stop, and I had to turn around because she's stock. And I don't want to have to stop. Now, it doesn't need to be a monster truck, but I want to be able to go further than I am currently. And you know, really get out there and really see what the world has to offer. This is the kind of vehicle that could take you to do that. And it's just been so comfortable. It makes plenty of power. You know, we're making over 300 horsepower, which is lovely, which is absolutely lovely. You know, maybe later on down the road, on the other side of the warranty, of course, I'm contemplating a blower. I think a blower would be good. I'll not only get horsepower for that, but I'll also get slightly better fuel economy. It's just I feel very at home in this, in a way that I didn't in the Volt. The Volt was, Alessandro, the Volt was a magnificent vehicle for going around town, but my life is not just in town. My life is everywhere, and I need a vehicle that can do all of those things for me and all of those things with me without being too much. And this is the perfect solution. I'm incredibly pleased with what Chevy has done here, with, somebody's revving something out here. Good Lord. I'm incredibly pleased with what Chevy has done with this truck and what they are continuing to do with these. And I couldn't ask for more. It's honestly, I'm incredibly pleased with this vehicle. So if you guys have, you know, are thinking about picking up a pickup truck, go ahead and add the Chevy Colorado to your list of possibles, your list of maybes, because it's just magnificent. And I think that's going to do it for me today, guys. Long story short, Chevy Colorado is awesome. Even after 10,000 miles, I'd do it all over again. If this is your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing right over here. Here's some other things I think you'll enjoy right down here. My name is Katherine. This is Car Stuff with Katherine. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile.